Hey everybody, I'm Karma. Welcome back to my channel and my life stories. This video was sponsored by Life Tech for You. A Life Tech for You link has been listed below. Thank you for joining me. Today I have a life story submitted by an author that has a little bit of instantaneous karma in it. The name of the story is Karma at its Finest. Sometimes what is viewed as a bad event is actually karma pushing you in a new direction, as you will see from this story. Some karma is also instantaneous. During my extensive years of experience in jobs, careers, and partnerships, I have worked with a variety of characters, both male and female. They have ranged from the self-proclaimed greedy, the save-the-world visionaries with no actual idea on how to do this, the me owners, and the Christian organizations. When I was in my 40s, I accepted a job offer as an area manager for a position that was 1,300 miles away from our home. To sweeten the deal, the company also offered my wife a position managing one of the offices I was to supervise. So away we went on a brand new adventure. Upon arrival, I met my new supervisor, who looked like he had been run through the ringer. He let me know that the budgets and growth projections were going to be impossible to obtain, as the Christian organization had overpromised the investors the moon. Let's just say that management budged the numbers to make their model work instead of using numbers where the market actually was. Then there was the issue of staff. I had to deal with everything from pure laziness, refusal to follow company procedures and programs, to inappropriate behavior with clients. 90% of the staff needed to be replaced in 7 offices. What had I walked into? As we sat at the dinner table that first week, me and my wife's conversation centered around work and the premise that you should always be careful what you wish for. As we discussed this, one of my dad's old sayings kept coming to my mind. How do you move a mountain? My guess was one shovel at a time. So I made an action list, or actually several action lists. One specific list for replacing personnel, one specific list to teach, and another to implement and enforce company policies. In an overly competitive market, I planned events, programs, and made use of a new concept at the time: social media. Over the next few months, I remained busy setting plans into action. My supervisor, who I shall refer to as R, was in and out of town as he poured hours into repetitive reports for our home office. In confidence, he told me that he thought his days were numbered due to the management's behavior towards him. He also informed me that the director of operations, who I will call T, was coming to our location for a visit because corporate office was impressed with my area's improvements over a short period of time. It was during that visit that I requested a company vehicle due to the excessive amount of mileage I was incurring on my personal vehicle. At that time, I was also given permission to hire my son for an office that was in a rough neighborhood. The company kept having problems keeping that location staffed. My son, let's call him BW, accepted this position. He was liked and accepted in his new role without issue. A couple of months passed, and one day while driving between offices, I received a call from T to inform me that my supervisor, R, was no longer with the company and that I would be his replacement. My mountain had just grown again, and each time I felt the top of that mountain erode, the corporate office gave me more offices to manage all over the country. Over time, my wife and I transferred to the corporate office in Dallas, Texas. The company itself went through several transitions, and as a reward for my hard work, I was made a minor partner in this Christian organization. My wife and son were hard workers in their own right. Both worked their way up the company chain on their own merits and hard work. We all three worked together to manage operations. We got into the ditches and got dirty when it was necessary, but we got the job done. Over the next several years, our responsibilities continued to grow. The hours we worked were insane. I joined several state association boards to represent our company. I was elected president of two of these associations and gladly volunteered my mostly non-existent personal time for the betterment of our industry. My wife and son also represented the company at several industry events. Truthfully, we enjoyed our successes and reaped the benefits of our hard work. After several years in our home office, I started to see practices I was not in agreement with. I was unable to keep quiet and voiced my opinion at a company meeting. In a matter of days, I noticed that management's attitude towards me had also changed. I was not asked. I was told to sell my home and move 3 hours away to supervise offices I had already been supervising for the last 4 years. I felt this was a power move on their part. I dug in my heels and informed them I would not sell my house and move, especially because this move did not come with any kind of compensation. The cost of living would be higher for us, and we would not be able to maintain the lifestyle we were accustomed to having. Then they suddenly demanded that I remove the title of district manager they had given my son. I informed them that if they could prove that he had done less work than the other 4 district managers they had, or had missed filing any reports like the other district managers had, I would remove his title myself. But since he had more offices to supervise than the others and was in compliance with all duties and reports, I refused to demote him. I was then assured that he would not lose any pay. He was still going to have to do all the work, but they would remove the district manager title. Why? What was the point of this? I was livid. I told the owner that he was full of, well, bulldog. My attitude was not appreciated. In the middle of this, the owner recommended that I take a week's vacation. I agreed and informed them that my wife and son would be taking the week off as well. In the past, they had never let us take any vacation time together like this, so it was highly suspect to me when they agreed. I called my son, and he drove up to take a week off in the mountain with us. The 3 of us discussed work on the first day we were off. We were all of the mind that we would be without jobs when we returned. After that, we enjoyed our family vacation. It was a fabulous week. We were without a care in the world. We played tourist and then just enjoyed life. That Monday, as we came to the office for the Monday morning meeting, we were accosted by the owners of the company and a representative from HR. I discreetly texted my son, who was 5 hours away, told him what was going down, and let him know what to expect. My wife and I were brought in separately and told by the owner's wife that they had prayed and talked to God, and he had told them to fire us. My wife, who has a droll sense of humor, looked at the owner's wife and said, "Really? He and I are so close. I'm surprised he told you that." The HR representative flew out of her chair and clarified, "That was not what she meant." Well, in hindsight, maybe it was God trying to save me. Over the next few months, my blood pressure improved. I lost 50 pounds and quit consuming massive amounts of alcohol. I started a business that I really enjoy, that is successful. Whether it was God or karma, my life was extended. I am now a much happier person. The same day we were let go was the day karma immediately came with a vengeance. I left my company car, a Lexus, in the parking lot and returned my keys. Since my wife and I both drove company cars, and had no way to get home. We lived an hour away from the office. The owner agreed that we could drive home in my wife's company car, get our personal vehicle, and drive back to the corporate office to park and return the keys. Halfway to our home, my wife's company car's transmission started slipping, and we were stranded by the side of the expressway we were on. We called the company to advise what happened and asked that they get the vehicle towed as it was in a precarious area in the shoulder of the expressway. We were told to call the dealership and make the arrangements ourselves. After a brief hold, the owner's wife came on the line and sharply asked, "What had I done to the Lexus?" "My former company car." "What do you mean?" I inquired. I was then informed that they had gone to move the Lexus and it wouldn't start. After hanging up and making arrangements for our vehicle situation, my wife and I sat down to wait. We looked at each other and broke into hysterical laughter. Two company vehicles that were regularly maintained on a strict schedule gave up the ghost the same day we were let go. It cost the owner of the company a pretty penny for repairs. That has to be karma at its best. Thank you, karma. We sure went out with a big bang. Oh, this story was delicious. I love the stories where the OP doesn't even have to do anything. Things just kind of take care of themselves. This kind of brings to mind the old saying that you reap what you sow. So if you reap discord, then basically that's what you're going to get back in your life. I'm really glad that the OP of this story is in a much better place in his life right now. It sounds like he's really happy doing what he's doing. He's probably not working as hard as he was before. He's less stressed. As he himself has said, he feels like his life has been extended. And I think that the hardest thing for people to accept sometimes is that maybe we overstay our welcome at a job, that we're not supposed to. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means that we're afraid to change. We kind of want things to stay the same way. But sometimes there's a plan, a plan that's much bigger than any of us out there. And what winds up looking like a really terrible event winds up being your saving grace. Now I know, and I've had experience in the past where I've been let go from jobs where it's set me back for years and years. So sometimes it takes a while before things will work themselves out like they did for this OP. We just have to have faith and we have to go on because that is the only thing that we have. And that is how we grow and we learn. And growing and learning is how we enrich our lives. If anyone has a good story or has gone through this type of a situation where something bad has happened but you've come out on top, please let me know in the comments section or leave me 3 heart emojis so that I know you like this kind of story and I know that you support me. Likes and comments are the best way to support this channel. Thank you very much to the author that sent me his story. If you would like your story read on my channel, please submit it to karma@karmagetin.com or post to u/Karmagetin on Reddit. All stories will be read anonymously with either initials or descriptions only. Thank you again, LifeTech4You, for sponsoring this video. If you would like to place an order through LifeTech4You, please use discount code Karmagetin, all caps, for a 10% discount at checkout with free shipping. That's my video for today. And remember, do something nice today and help me change the world.
It's not their turn, it's my turn to shine. Like the rays of the sunlight reaching out my arms.
For those of you that are following the story of the missing baby, a correction for Josephine's last name has been submitted by the family. Please note the correct spelling of Josephine's last name is Calderia, Calderilla. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share this video with anyone and subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications to not miss any new content that comes out. Thank you so much for all your feedback and support. Catch you in the next one. Laters!